Prime, you're looking to get your CDL. Has my videos played a part in you deciding to come to Prime? Put me down as a referral. Driver code MATURO, MATURO. Also, don't forget to put down Nikki Yost as well.
Hey, I'm a recruiter here at Prime. I'd love to work with you. List me as on the application as the recruiter that you talk to, along with Junior's referral. We make a great team. We'll take care of you. My direct phone number is 417-521-3598.
Wish you the best, guys. What is going on, guys? So, as you guys know, we're about to do a Q&A with Nikki. Let me get her on here real quick. And there she is, the one and only. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, Nikki?
Good, good.
You ready?
Ready.
How's the weather over that way in Missouri?
Cold. Really cold.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, it was raining this morning here in Florida, and it's a little chilly. I mean, not chilly, cool.
Yeah.
Not chilly. It's cool.
It's chilly.
Okay. So let me get to the comments. So, again, what are some of the common questions that you get that you want to cover right off the bat? So that way that we get it out there, and yeah.
Probably the majority of the questions are people, calling in interested in getting their CDL, but they don't know really where to start. So just to address that, if you don't have a CDL and you're just interested in doing this, you probably should get a study guide first and read over the manual. I think that once you read those portions and you study for the permit, you'll have a better idea of kind of what the trucking industry is and what you're going to be expected to learn. So studying probably, you can call a recruiter first, but if it were me, I would probably start studying and just kind of make sure that this is something that I want to do.
Also, get a tanker endorsement. Very important.
Mm-hmm.
Tanker endorsement, and the drug test and physical are being done after you apply or before you apply? No, after, right?
A lot of applicants just take it up on themselves to go get their DOT physical, but they pay for that. So if they know they want to come to Prime and they want to do our training program, we will pay for your DOT physical and the drug screening. It's done at the same. And then I always suggest to get the DOT physical done and then go do your permit, so you don't have to make multiple trips to the DMV, because we all know how fun the DMV is. So
yeah. So all right, that's good. What does MATURO mean? Oh, that's just my driver code. If you fill out the application, I would really appreciate it if you put me down as a referral. That helps. Let me see. I'm at work watching you. That's what's up, Steven. Kyra Vivros. You notice the name changed in her name, right?
No.
Kyra. Well, she just recently got married, so that's good. I'm happy for you, Kyra. She was driving, but she had to get off the truck for medical reasons, I think, something like that. Good morning from Las Vegas. So what can you say about Las Vegas? Is there something about Vegas? Yay or nay? Or is it El Paso?
Well, I can say that Vegas is like the funnest place on the we just went there to watch the Chiefs play, and they have that new Raiders stadium, which is phenomenal. But wow. No, Vegas is good for us. We hire reefer and flatbed. El Paso is not a good area for us, but Vegas is fine.
What about Miami?
Yep, we're hiring out of Miami now.
What?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my God. So they are hiring out of Miami, Florida.
Yeah, I bring people in from Miami all the time.
Wow, that's new.
Yep.
New to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that happened maybe 6 months ago or so.
Pacman says she was my recruiter. Okay. Good morning, Junior Nikki. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. Yes. Happy holidays to everybody. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, because this might be my last video. I don't know. Maybe. At least with Nikki, it'll be my last one. The Lockout Podcast Show. What's going on, Nikki? What do I need to come to Prime and become a trainer? Well, that's a good question. If you have verifiable experience, how long can they come in? How long do they have to wait before they start training? If they come in straight into their truck with verifiable experience?
I think that they want them to at least drive with Prime for at least 60 days. If they have experience, in other companies and it's over the road experience, they want them to wait at least 60 days. And then you have to talk to your fleet manager. You have to make sure your fuel, you have to make sure that you're going to be eligible to be a trainer.
I got another question for you. If I'm in flatbed and I want to switch over to the reefer, do I reach out to you or how does that work?
You would reach out to your fleet manager and put in for a division change.
Okay. All right.
Unfortunately, one thing, unfortunately, a lot of the applicants that we hire, they kind of say like, well, after I'm hired, I don't ever hear from my recruiter again. But kind of true. I mean, we follow up as much as we can, but with these 100 people a week bringing in, it's just hard to, keep that contact going. If you guys are ever in the terminal, always stop by and see us. We would love to, put a face to the name. But in recruiting, we get you guys in, we get you guys hired, hopefully reimburse for gas, getting here and stuff like that, take care of you on that end. And then we're kind of supposed to turn the reins over to the fleet manager. And then at that point, they're your main point of contact on everything.
Okay, because I thought it was reach out to you. That's why I asked, because I've had a couple people reach out to me in the past and then recently, and I was like, well, I think the recruiter, but good thing I asked.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing we do after you're hired. I mean, if you're having some issues or something and you can't reach somebody, you could always call us and we can try to facilitate, a meeting or something like that. But our expertise is kind of done after you're hired.
Okay. So Lockout Man says we need a follow-up. I don't know what that's about. Hey, Greg, what's going on? Jairo Martinez, I spoke about this last night. Hey, Cristiano, how you doing? What's up, Junior? I'll be in Springville in a few days. What are you bringing? What are you coming in for, John? Craig, what's up, Junior? Nikki, good morning, everyone. I'm looking to come to Prime in the next few months. I'm getting things in line to get my permit, starting with my health to pass the DOT physical. So what are some of the things that you've seen, Nikki, that will automatically disqualify you to get a physical?
Blood pressure. If your blood pressure's out of whack. Sometimes vision. People will have to go get glasses or contacts before they can pass that vision test. Really, those are the two biggest ones. I don't really review physicals. It's kind of a HIPAA thing. So we have a different department that reviews that. But just hearing from the applicants, that's what I hear is, hey, I got to get glasses or my blood pressure's, or maybe my sugar.
I was going to ask you, what about diabetes?
Yeah. I don't hear a lot of that anymore since they started allowing insulin and stuff.
Oh, really?
But.
All right, cool. Let me see. Will Prime ever do oversized loads? Do you know anything about that?
No idea. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so, but you never know with Robert. He's always trying to stay ahead of the game. So I don't know.
Mr. L. Ibanez says, I'm fresh out of trucking school with CDL no experience. Will Prime hire me?
Yeah, I mean, we do take applicants just right out of CDL school. That'd be our C-Seat program where you'd come in and do the 40,000 miles of team driving training. But really, even like calling into the recruiter, we wouldn't be able to tell you if you're qualified until, we look at your driving record, criminal record, work history, things like that.
Okay. Then take the test for my permit and tank endorsement. Yes. How long after 2 DUI will the company hire you? Will your company hire? 2 DUIs?
Yeah, I mean, and you also may check with your local DMV on if you're eligible for a permit or a CDL. Every state's a little bit different on the number of DUIs that you can have. But with us personally, it just has to be 3 years since the date that you have completed all fines, probation, and court costs. So not the date that the last DUI happened, but the date that everything was resolved.
Okay. All right. Good morning. How you doing, Joel? Miguel, got my CDL 10 years, no tickets, no accidents. I want to lease. How does your lease program work as far as fixed costs and pay? Do you work from load boards?
Load boards.
No. They don't work off load boards, and the pay is 72% of the line haul here. So as far as leasing, yeah, it's a good program. I have no problem with it. Let me see it. Hi, Heather. I'm in North Carolina. Heather, I thought your name was Nikki.
Whatever, I'll take it.
Raleigh, North Carolina, Raleigh. I got qualified 5 months ago. Is there any way I can have you as my recruiter? I got my permit test 1/12/22. Should I start my app now or wait?
I got not qualified or qualified.
Well, either way, you want to wait because the application is only good for 30 days. If you lapse in 30 days, you'll have to reapply and re-enter all the information, correct?
Yeah, I mean, if he's going to take his permit on the 12th, then he will be within that 30-day window probably.
Saying that he's got everything set up he wants to come in immediately after.
Yeah, but to answer his question on the recruiter thing is we don't really do the swapping of recruiters. That's kind of how it's all evenly dispersed. So
and that's why I always tell people to put down Nikki Yost.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you want Nikki, you got to put her down.
Yeah. Could get them if they don't, but it's just kind of like Russian roulette as far as if I'm going to get that file or not. But we don't really change recruiters. And if you've already applied and you're assigned to one, unless we've spoke. But if you haven't applied, you can always list me on the application. It says, have you spoke with a recruiter? You can put my name down. Or you can call in and I can email you a link. And if you apply directly through my link, it comes directly to me.
Okay. All right. That's good. So how much am I expected to get paid per week during training as a new driver that already has a CDL? And I'm assuming no experience, no recent experience, no verifiable experience.
Yeah, it just kind of depends on if you have a month of experience, you may go right into where you're getting paid. Now, if you just got your CDL, you'll do a 3-day orientation. After that, then you'll go on the payroll. It's a guarantee pay during training for you guys. So for like a recent graduate, it's going to be $800 a week guarantee pay for the first 30 days. And then after 30 days, you'll have quite a bit of miles done. You'll go into a $900 a week guarantee pay. So you'll be in training for, 10 weeks or however long it takes you guys to get those T&T miles done. And then after that, you'll be eligible to upgrade into your own truck and get paid cents per mile.
All right. Good. Elias says, good morning. Are New Jersey residents still unable to go leaves after they upgrade, when they upgrade?
Yeah, we're still only doing company out of New Jersey at this time.
All right, good. Jeremiah's bendiciones, blessings. Taking a vacation, but not 4 months. Wow, John. That's a long time.
Yeah, that's nice.
Saludos desde Honduras, Jeremiah's. Muchas gracias, mi hermano. What if you're on medication? Well, I guess that would depend on the medication you're on, and it would go case to case, right?
It does, yeah. It's a case-to-case basis. It depends on if the medication's approved by DOT and if it's kind of approved by Prime too, because there's a few medications that we don't really like you to be on. So that would be a question for probably the person at your DOT physical, and they can let you know if it's a good medication. I was going to add too, for anybody that's watching and they're interested in either driving for Prime or going through the program, if they go to primeinc.com, there is tons of information on there too. It has like qualifications and expectations. It has the pay and benefits tab, driver training program, a tab for CDL holders. And then it has information about our terminals too, where you guys can go on there and like look at the amenities at the terminal.
Okay. That's good. And then how the changes would affect Prime CDL school after February 7th. I have no idea. Do you know anything about that, Nikki?
I really don't. I mean, all of my worries have been kind of put to ease by, everybody in our training department. Prime's always way ahead of the game, so they've known about this for a long time. So from what I've heard is we've got a good plan in place and we should be okay.
All right, cool. Let me see. I'm in Puerto Rico for the holidays, but we'll be back in Florida and we'll go to Prime the next few days. Rick, appreciate that. That's good, man. My truck adventure, good morning. And can I have you as my recruiter? I think she said that. What?
Yeah, if you do the application and you list me, definitely, give me a call and I'll work on getting you in.
Yes, yes. When did they start allowing insulin?
2019 or 2020. Don't hold me on that, but it's been a while.
You would have to, now let me answer this now. Can I have my drug test in Puerto Rico? Can that be done, or will they have to wait till they get back to Florida?
I've never been asked that, but I mean, really, probably when you're in Florida, I would say, because we order it by zip code. I don't know if anything will pull over there, and language barrier, if it'll come back, and I'm not really for sure. So I would say in Florida.
So we don't do doubles or triples. No, we do not. Anthony Coleman says, thank you. Done in Puerto Rico, I should say. Honduras, what's going on? Johnny Dobie, what's going on, man? I'm out here with Nikki, man, trying to do it. Trying to get the answers for people and stuff, man. Do they have any pay benefits or extra benefits for U.S. veterans? I think the training would be 9 months if you are a veteran.
Yeah, and there may be some changes to kind of what we offer to veterans in 2022. I can't really talk about them, mostly because I don't know all the information. There may be some changes, though. But as far as we lower the contract to 9 months for veterans.
All right. And then how much is the pay each division currently paying? Sorry.
It is for the full-size reefer truck, it's 48. The lightweight trucks are 53 for reefer, flatbeds 50, and then tankers 55.
Okay. High blood pressure, you got to be on medication, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Get Junior to train me, I'd come to Prime.
You don't know how many times I hear that.
Man, I don't know. And that's good, I guess. I'm currently in CDL school. Does Prime offer tuition reimbursement? And if so, how much?
So if we're the first trucking company that you work with and drive with after graduating, it's a $1,500 tuition reimbursement. So you would just, once you come into orientation, you would provide us with a receipt from the school, and then you get 3 $500 increments. So the first 3 months you're here, you'll get a pay bump of $500 a month.
Okay. Let me see. Good morning. Miguel says, what are your requirements for lease? Is there a down payment? If so, how much does it change depending on the equipment? My CDL is from California. Thank you guys in advance and have a great day. Well, being from California, I think that you cannot lease already. So, man, I don't know if you can see the guy picture right there. Merry Christmas, man. How you doing? Johnny, what's going on, man? Here in Pittston, PA, second day of orientation. So where are the terminals? Where are the terminals that we have available for people to come into?
It's Pittston, Pennsylvania, Springfield, Missouri, which is our national headquarters, and then Salt Lake City, Utah.
All right. Good morning, Junior. Hope all is well. Thank you, he says. All right. Also, since my CDL is from California, would I be able to lease? Yeah, we just said that. No. Does Prime have a standard training program that all trainers have to follow?
For our trainers?
Yes.
There's a trainer class, and then you would probably answer that better than I could.
Yeah, I mean, they do. And I always say every company, everybody trains differently. Everybody looks at things differently. So if you guys are training and something that's not right, you got to say something. But yeah, there's a TNT checklist, and I'll put a link up here somewhere. So whenever the replay comes up, there will be a link in the video as well in the description of the video. So can you do this if you're from New York?
Yes.
Hey, Junior, happy holidays. Happy holidays to you and yours as well. Let me see. How you liking the auto freight shaker? Jesse's asking. I went to automatic. That's why I'm selling the white truck. And I'm starting to train. And I'm just waiting for Al to to come back and make sure he's good. So.
Oh, hey, I wanted to say hi to Christian Quintero out of New York. You just asked about leasing. I've been working with him and have him scheduled to come in January. So, hello.
All right, cool. Saúl Torres, saludos, ¿qué tal? Do we get paid extra for having to deal with Junior if we get him as a trainer? Really, man? I should have seen that coming. Scott, what's going on, man? This is your time, Scott. Ask the questions. He's always putting comments in the videos and asking a lot of questions, which is good. How often is home time after I finish training?
It kind of depends on if you're leasing or company, or if you get on a dedicated or a regional, but typically an over-the-road schedule is out 3 to 4 weeks at a time, home for 3 to 4 days.
All right. I live in New Jersey, but if I wanted to fly on my own expense to Salt Lake City for training and orientation, any projections on Prime's part?
I mean, that's kind of
quarantine, right?
Terminals, in each region is so we can utilize them. I mean, if for some reason you want to go to Salt Lake City, like if you have family out there or something like that, you can talk to your recruiter. That is something we would have to get approved by our supervisor. When you apply, we have a map that we go off of, and we have to put you in the terminal that's closest to you, for dispatcher purposes and just different things. So,
all right.
100% set on that. You can always ask the recruiter, and they'll have to get it approved by their supervisor. And another thing on that, I saw some questions the other day, maybe on like She Trucking or something. I'm not for sure. One of the forums, and somebody said, well, I live in North Carolina. I went to Missouri. And this other person said, well, my recruiter won't let me go to Missouri. She's making me go to Pennsylvania. There are reasons why we send you where we send you. It could be truck availability, trainer availability, hotel rooms. There's just a lot that go into that. So
good point. That, and good answer and good question as well, because that's one of the things I never really thought about, but now that you said it, it makes sense.
Right.
So what year and what kind of trucks do rookies get after training? Well, all the trucks here at Prime are nothing older than 3 years, so you're getting a fairly new truck. And if not, you might be getting a 2022. So now I already have my permit from Florida. If I go to Springfield, do I have to take all those tests again? How about Pittston?
No.
Hey, Drew, nothing wrong with more training, but why is training so long? I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to say much about it. People always say, why is training so long? Let's look at the Colorado case.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
And I'll just leave it at that. Christian Quintero says, hi, Nikki. I still want to come in January. Darren Davis, do it, man.
Apply now.
In the description of the video, there's a link to the application, man. Is there a Western 11 regional, Nikki? Johnny on the flip side is asking.
For flatbed.
Oh, for flatbed?
Yeah.
No reefer?
No. Now, we may have some out there that some drivers are running some type of a regional, but as far as recruiting new drivers and things like that, at this time, it's just flatbed.
JM says, and do you guys have satellite TV on the trucks? That's a must for a modern truck driver. Well, I'll say this. They don't come equipped with it, but if you feel like you need one, you can get one and pay the monthly subscription for it. But if you're going to get one, that means you're going to be sitting a lot. So I don't know that you want one. I live in Houston, Texas. What division do you recommend for this area? Well, Johnny, at the end of the day, is what you want to do, but we'll see what Nikki says as far as the division she recommends that will get you maybe home more often. Is that, I'm assuming?
Yeah, refrigerated or flatbed for Houston is all we offer down there right now. But flatbed would probably get you home more often because they do have a regional down there. But reefer and flatbed can both be over the road. So it's kind of depending on what you want to do.
What are the benefits of having a trucking career? Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody's different. So it's hard to answer for everybody. Safety. Do you accept persons from other countries?
No, we don't.
Not even on a visa?
No.
What about the work permit?
Yeah, I mean, if you're already here and you've had your driver's license in the United States for 12 months, then you can apply with that work permit. It's if you can get your, CDL permit from the state you live in, then that's something that we can look at. But you do have to have your United States driving license for at least 12 months.
So you remember in the past, the work permit thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the past, they used to be to where you had to get your CDL in your home state and then apply.
Right.
So that's different still?
Well, that was when they were coming in with their permit. Well, yeah, they were coming in without a permit and coming to us, and we were trying to help them get the permit.
So as long as they get their permit in their home state, they're good.
Probably on those type of questions, I would just check with the DMV. I mean, they're going to be the ones that either issue your license or they don't.
But if they get their permit, they're good, right?
They can apply. Yeah.
Well, yeah, they can apply. Let me say that. Yeah. They're good to apply.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm very interested in priming, taking my CDL permit now. Took it but failed, but I'm going to go again till I pass. But I'm from New York. So what other endorsements do I need? And for training, where will I go? Junior, you're the man. Blessing Pops. And do you offer North Regional or Regional?
Yeah. So, okay, to answer some of those questions, just keep taking the permit until you pass. I mean, there's the large majority don't pass it all in the first time. Download CDL Prep if you haven't and do the practice test on there.
In the description of the video is a link.
Yes. So, and then endorsements, we do ask you to get the tanker endorsement on your permit. Some states will not let you do that until you have your actual CDL.
Really?
So that's why we say, please add it if you can. Some states won't let the permit holders have a tanker endorsement. You'll go to Pittston, Pennsylvania for the 3-day orientation, and then training is over the road. So there's no telling where you'll go, all over the place.
All right.
We do have regional for tanker up there in New York. We used to have a reefer regional, but I think they're full. But once you apply and you're approved, I can dig into that a little more. But I do know that we have a tanker regional up there.
Okay. All right, cool. Hello, my entire Prime family. God bless you and happy holidays. Yes, happy holidays to you as well. Motorman. Need more than 40,000 miles to be properly trained because OTR is not easy. Trust me, all you need training is worth it. All that training you need is worth it. So yes, and I personally don't think it is enough. So let me see. I'm not a recent graduate. I got my CDL about 7 years ago when I was in the military. I don't have any experience. Do I qualify?
I mean, that's kind of the big question on if you qualify, because we look at driving record, work history, criminal record to see if you qualify.
Right.
To offer you, if you have a CDL, we just recently started offering our PSD program, which is typically a 1-year contract. But if you come in with a CDL, we're not going to make you sign that contract anymore. So you'll do the PSD program. But if you have a CDL and you just need recent experience, you'll do that 30,000 miles, but there's just no contract for you.
Wait. What?
Yeah, I'll email it to you.
Yeah, Nikki, you got to keep me updated. Come on, man. So is that because he's a veteran or is that generally speaking?
No. So you know how before when people would get their CDL and they would wait too long and then had to do the PSD program?
Yeah, because it used to be 45 days.
Yeah. So they changed it 6 months ago or so that if you have a CDL and you just haven't used it, say somebody had it 5 years ago, they'll do the PSD program but there's no contract for them if they have a CDL. I don't know how long this will last. I don't know if it's a forever thing or if it's just, something Prime's doing for a little bit. but I'll send you the PDF that kind of breaks down how that program will work for these CDL holders.
Because before, even if you had your CDL and you had to go through the PSD program,
right,
you would have to sign the contract.
So we've stopped doing that.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was clear on that.
Yeah.
Nikki, does Prime have any context for access to military base or loads? I'll be retiring from the Navy in a couple of years, and I have unrestricted access to all military bases. No, I would say no to that.
Yeah. I mean, everybody, of course, has to be eligible for like a TWIC card and be eligible to get on in and out of bases and ports and stuff. So I don't think we have anything like special.
Would you recommend a Prime PSD or local community college for CDL training? I would recommend to go to a company that's going to give you the training while getting a job. So it's like on the job training. You have to find a company that best suits you for your needs and your wants. But I would definitely recommend a company because you're not going to pay out of pocket. So if you go to a college, community college, you're going to pay out of pocket unless you get a grant or something that they'll pay for it. But if not, you'll be paying out of pocket. And to touch on that, Prime is not doing the $100 application fee, correct?
No.
No, Alex. No, everybody does not get the training because if you have verifiable experience, you don't need training, obviously. So, hey, what's going on? Since you got GPS now, is CB next? That I don't think that I'll ever get a CB, man. I don't know. Will Prime reimburse? I just bought a GPS because my wife's GPS that I had in the truck took a dump.
But so you don't.
Say what?
You don't use a CB at all? No? Oh.
Haven't yet in 10 years.
Nice.
Will Prime reimburse for airfare from Florida to Springfield?
We will reimburse up to $350.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
And I also tell people when they're coming in from Florida, I always tell them about Allegiant Airlines because you can fly from like Orlando and a few other places, $60 or something. Super cheap.
I live in Brooklyn, New York. Where would I go for training? And that depends on the recruiter, correct? And you already said depending on the truck.
Yeah, most of the time, like any like New York or anything like that, they will go to Pennsylvania. Like the North Carolina sometimes. I always send them to Pennsylvania because if you pull it up on a GPS, that it's the least amount of miles that they have to drive. So I'll send them to Pennsylvania. For some reason,
all right.
You know, if they're full up there, then they may send them to Missouri, but it is on a case-to-case basis.
The nearest Prime terminal, it's in Pittston, Pennsylvania for you if you live in Virginia. I'm looking to get out of the medical field and my OTR. I have my CDL, and I know you don't like talking financial, but who do you recommend discussing with to weigh financial differences? I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Can you answer that, Nikki?
Sorry. I was sending you that stuff.
Yep, no.
I mean, you can always call us in recruiting too. I mean, I can always tell you the 13-week average on all divisions that we have. We get a profit summary from operations. And so they tell us the averages for 13 weeks for all the drivers. And then we also get the figures for the top performers too. But I mean, most of our first year drivers, I think, start out around 65,000, and that's just pretty entry level. The opportunities are endless depending on if you train, team, lease, things like that.
Do endorsements auto transfer if you upgrade from a Class B to a Class A? Yes, they should. Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas. Roberto, have a good one, man. Yeah, that was my case. I came with my CDL, went through short PSD. I have to do P&T with no contract. All right, cool. Need to be long gives you a chance to have someone there when you screw up. Oh, yeah, he's talking about the training.
Yeah.
And help you and show you what you did wrong. Yes. Any dental and medical plans for operators? Yes, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have it. They got options. Thanks, Nikki and Junior, for taking the time for Q&A session. I follow several Prime drivers, and you are the only recruiter whose face I've seen. You see what I'm telling you, Nikki? We need to do these more often. You are the face of Prime, Nikki.
Oh, no, absolutely not. The driver.
Good morning, Junior. I ran across your recent live feed talking about the situation in Colorado. This has nothing to do with the live feed about Prime, but I feel they shouldn't have been more lenient on the person. I'm assuming he was saying, cool. Can I bring a passenger or pets? I know there used to be a pet policy as far as the weight. Has that changed? Is that still the same? And the passengers, how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, if you work for Prime, I would always first and foremost talk to your fleet manager. I don't know if sometimes they allow it and sometimes they don't, depending on the driver. I'm not for sure, but we do allow passengers on the truck, and as well as pets. There is a pet deposit if you're a company driver. There's no pet deposit if you're a lease operator.
All right. So what is the home time for experienced drivers doing lease purchases in New York? Your choice. You make that home time. Hey, Junior, I want to be a truck driver, but I don't know where I can study for permit. I have planned to come to this 2022. I watch all your videos and love it. Well, in the description of the video, there's a couple links to some websites you can start studying. And Nikki was saying CDL Prep, which I have a link to the bottom in the description as well. On that rookie drive, because it was another terrible situation here where an officer passed away due to the driver's negligence and being under the influence. Why is it so hard to get home for home time? David H. Hard? I mean, I personally have not experienced that, so I cannot say that. But what is the home time like for the company drivers or lease operators? Lease operators is your choice, but company drivers, what is the home time that you say, Nikki?
I'd say out for 3 to 4 weeks at a time and then home for 3 to 4 days. I mean, if you're wanting to be home all the time, you need to be very clear with the recruiter, because we don't want anybody to be unhappy or feel like they're not getting home. But, if you sign up to be an OTR driver, those are the expectations. I mean, now if you want a regional or a dedicated where you're home every week or every night, you need to look for a company that can 100% guarantee you that, so you're not upset and don't have resentment. That's my advice. But over the road drivers, they do stay out. They stay out for 3 to 4 weeks at a time. I know some drivers that stay out 6 to 12 weeks at a time, their preference, and then, go home when they want to.
Okay. Do I need to bring my personal vehicle during orientation and initial training? You don't.
You don't need to. Some people do, and then we could reimburse you on gas for that. There is a rental car shortage. So, I mean, if you want to drive your own car, you can, but it will be stuck at the terminal in secured parking, but it'll be at the terminal while you're out over the road.
All right. Hello, YouTube. Merry Christmas. We'll take my student in for testing next week. Wish him well.
Oh.
Yes. Where y'all located? Springfield, Missouri, Pittston, Pennsylvania, and Salt Lake City, Utah. I have 2 years experience, but forgot to do my DOT.
Well, if you've been driving recently and you haven't had your DOT physical, then your license is like voided and you're driving on an invalid license. But that would be kind of something I would just need to talk to you about and see how long it's been suspended for or revoked, and then go from there.
All right. I'm a company driver. I've been on the road for 3 months. How much home time do you guys allow? What company allows is a different story, different thing, because if you've been out 3 months, at that point, you would have to get with the dispatch and work it with them. Prime says 3 to 4 weeks, 3 to 4 days out. But if you go beyond that, that is something you're going to have to work with dispatch. Is Prime going to be jumping on the autonomous truck bandwagon? No, Scott, I think I've said this. We'll be dead before that even happens. We won't even see that. Understand a standard lease. Can you order a new truck, or is that only for lease purchase? Yeah, you can order a new truck after 3 months of regular lease. I'm thinking about reapplying. So what is the process for that, Nikki, reapplying?
So everything that you have put in before will stay in there. Basically, just you'll log back in. I think it'll make you put in like your social and everything, so it'll seem like you're redoing everything. But then at some point, it'll ask you if you want to autofill. You can autofill, and then just update it from the last time that you applied.
All right, cool. Sorry, I was one of my drivers. I live in Orlando. Which terminal would I most likely be assigned to?
Springfield, Missouri.
And if you put Nikki down, that would be great. Put me down as a referral. I would really appreciate that, Jeffrey. Do y'all talk about oversized loads? And I had to leave for a few. Yeah, they're not doing it. Prime doesn't do it, but as Nikki was saying, Rob Lowe is always staying on top of things and trying to stay ahead of the game. So I stay out 6 weeks, then I get home. Wait, I stay out 6 weeks, then can't get home on the day I want. Always an issue. Well, David H., that is something that you are going to have to talk with dispatch about, because at this point, recruiters not the question. It's dispatch.
Yeah.
Talk to them. Say what?
Yeah. If you can't get home after being out for 6 weeks, you need to probably have a meeting with your dispatch and try to get a resolution.
Head of operations as well. Yeah. So definitely speak up and say something about that, David, because I can only imagine how frustrating that can be.
For sure.
Yeah. Man, if I'm doing my time, I want to be home.
Yep.
So I kept my license on interstate mode so that they would not, so that way I don't have to renew or a DOT physical every year when I'm not using my CDL. That's good, right, Junior? I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can. It's like when you get a permit, you don't have a physical, it's only interstate, so you can only use that permit in the state you live in. But it kind of comes down to if you have experience and if you've been using that and different things. That's one of those things we can't answer over a video or a phone call. We'd need to check your driving record, your work history, and then have CDL tell us what they would offer you. All
right, cool. Just wanted to say thank you for the invite yesterday for the debate. Vic Med, yes, no problem, man. Is the sleep apnea test done after you get to Prime or before coming to Prime?
There's not a required sleep apnea test. It's basically if you're flagged on your sleep study. If you have a permit, we'll pay for that, a DOT physical before you come in. If you already have your DOT physical or you're an experienced driver, when you come to orientation, you'll redo your physical. If you're flagged, then they can set you up with a sleep study.
All right. And if you have the sleep apnea machine already, you want to come in and have at least 30 days of
yeah, we ask for that
hours or compliance.
Yes. So we now ask for that before they come in, and we get them in contact with Cardinal and make sure that they're compliant, before they even get to orientation. So
yes, Junior, I've been watching a long time. I'm familiar with driver code. Just making sure. I think Prime should get into car hauling. Hey, there's so many things that we can get into, but we have to be careful, or the company has to be careful with how they go about it. So, yeah, we've been on here 45 minutes. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a few more questions and then we're gonna call it. I appreciate you doing this with me, Nikki, and I tell you, we need to do more.
Yes, we do.
At least once a month, or a couple. I don't know. At least once a month, because there's a few things that I learned today. I was out of the loop on that.
Yeah.
So,
I'll try to do better sending you the updated PDFs and stuff like that.
Please, yes, please do so. Yes. Hey, Nikki, I don't know if you remember or not, but do you think I'll have you as my recruiter again, Darius Brody? If he reapplies, he would be with you, right?
It just kind of depends. They stay in our name for, I don't even know how long, 90 days or so. Darius Brody, I can look that up and then let you know, Darius.
Hey, what are you paying your driver on your truck, Junior? Jason King, I don't have any trucks right now, but if you ever were interested in when I have a truck available, then reach out to me and we'll talk. We'll talk on the side. Rooster says, tengo 23 años, ¿puedo aplicar para la CDL? Sí, absolutamente que sí. No hay ninguna edad que lo evite, que lo prevenga de usted aplicar para agarrar su licencia. So he was saying he was 73 years old. Can he apply to get his CDL? And I said, yeah. You know, age is just a number. Nothing impedes you from doing it. So
we don't even look at age like on the application, besides just to make sure that you're 21. That's the only thing that we have to. You know, another thing I just wanted to mention, and this is kind of off the wall, kind of not, but you know, when you do applications for trucking companies, your information stays in there. So, and your phone number and everything. So when you're calling in and you're asking questions, even though it may just be a phone call to you guys, everything is like logged and noted. There's been a couple posts going around on different forums about, you know, recruiters being this way or that way, which does happen. But, you know, if you happen to call in and you cuss several recruiters out on the phone, you're probably not going to work for that company. So, and I think sometimes on the other end, the applicants might just feel like they're just on a phone call. But on the recruiting aspect of it, this is a phone interview. So everything that we ask, we have to note that we asked that in their response and everything. And so I was thinking about, you know, why that happens. And I think that maybe on that end of it, sometimes people are just like, it's just a phone call. You know, like if I call AT&T and have a bad experience or whatever, I just hang up and go about my day. But that person, you know, probably has to note everything that was said. So that's just my little bit of advice. Even if you don't want to come to Prime right now, or CR England or whoever you're talking to, there may be some time in the future that you want to go to them. So, you know, just keep things professional. If you decide you don't want to go forward with them, just end the phone call, you know, just because things are saved in there. And if we're taught that if, you know, the applicant cusses us out or discloses, you know, recent drug use or stuff like that, I mean, we have to do our job and disqualify that file.
That should even happen at all. Should never happen at all.
Well, it does. I mean, and not all recruiters are perfect. I'm not saying that we're always in the right, or any company. I'm not saying that, but I'm just trying to give a little bit of advice that, especially when you're new with your CDL, it's just super important just to try to keep things professional. Like if you went in for an interview at a company or you were talking with their HR representative, that's just my little tidbit for the day. Just try to keep things professional. If you don't want to work for the company, just move on.
All right. That's good. Appreciate you saying that. And guys, let's show respect. I mean, anybody you talk to anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, respect is very important. So, what would you recommend getting home every weekend? I don't think that would ever happen. Not here. Unless you got a flatbed route in Texas, maybe?
Yeah, I will say that there's about 10 places for intermodal.
Oh.
Probably have you home every night.
Okay. So intermodal is a good option.
Yeah, if you're home all the time, and I'll just list them briefly. I know we've been on here for a while, but Chicago, LA, Stockton, Seattle and Portland, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Memphis, Tennessee, Salt Lake City, sometimes Jacksonville, Florida. I'm not for sure if there's any openings right now, and then Fort Worth, Texas. The last time we were updated, there was about 40 drivers needed for those areas. So intermodal is always a good option. It should get you home almost every night, and they still make really good money.
So sorry.
It's fine. Take it from here. We're good.
So can I ask about the sleep apnea question? I have sleep apnea, but I'm being treated with an oral appliance, not a CPAP machine. There are no requirements for a particular type of treatment, is there?
I have no idea. Scott, if you applied with this, that would be one of those questions where I would have you call our sleep apnea department, Cardinal Sleep, and talk with them about that. not being a medical professional, I have no idea. All I know is the sleep apnea machine. You have to be at least 70% compliant. But if there's an oral, medication or something, that's something they would be familiar with, not me.
All right. So we'll sift through the questions here, guys, because we're going to end it. We've been on here 50 minutes already. If Prime pays reimbursement, do we have to compromise for a year? Do we have compromise for a year?
As far as tuition, no, there's no contract with us if we reimburse you for the $1,500.
Trucking with Me says, I sent you a guy about 6-7 months ago. I gave the guy your number, Nikki. He said that he called so many times and he never answered. I called also, never got an answer to call back.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we do get a lot of calls each week. I mean, I answer personally hundreds. My first and foremost, my job is to work the applications that are submitted with Prime. So if I get voicemails and I don't get the phone number, either they don't list it or I don't know who they are, I don't call them all back. I get so many that say, hey, so-and-so told me to call you, and they don't tell me their name. They don't tell me their phone number. If you want to speak with me directly, after I get done working the applications that come into Prime, that's our number one priority. It has to be. You could always email, and I can always get back and forth with you via email, or you can apply. And then once you apply, I will call you within like 30 minutes of getting that application.
All right, cool.
It is my job. I mean, I have a supervisor, and so I have to do what they tell me to do first, and that's to work the applications that come in first.
All right. She said, Truck with Me said, cool, good to know. In Stockton, California for Intermodal, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, all right, guys, we're going to end this. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Nikki, thank you for doing this with me. I'm always bugging you to do one.
Hey.
Everybody have a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas. Enjoy it wherever you are. Be safe if you're on the road. Be safe. Have a happy New Year's. Any plans for you, Nikki? You gonna throw a party, man? You didn't invite me to that party.
No parties. Probably just staying home with the kids. Pretty low key.
Good. All right, cool.
But I thank you, everybody. Thanks for the questions. If you have any suggestions, you can always send them over. My email is NYost@drive4prime.com. And I will say email is probably the best way to get, a hold of me, because if I'm not answering my calls, I'm answering, everybody else's calls in recruiting too. We all have to stay on the phones all day. So if you do get another recruiter, that's not me. I can't take that file, but I can try to get you over to that recruiter.
All right. That's good to know. That's good. And everybody, in the description of the video will be her information, her phone number, her email. Apply, the link to the application, apply, put me down as a referral, please. And put her down as the recruiter, guys. That is very important. So Again, thank you, Nikki, for doing this. Everybody, thank you for tuning in, and we're going to end this. All right, guys. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year's. Bitch, I wanna party like